अरहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाय स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। So today, last two bhavnas. 11th one is Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna. Contemplation on rarity of the enlightenment. Bodhi means enlightenment. Okay. There are other meanings of Bodhi which has been used in this chapter. They are right knowledge. Bodhi is also used in the sense of right knowledge. Bodhi is also used in the sense of three gems or three jewels: right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. All these three together constitute the path of liberation. Okay. So the most popular meaning would be the three gems. Wherever we say Bodhi, Bodhi means three gems. Okay. Another meaning of Bodhi would be recognizing. Okay. And the second word is Durlabh. Durlabh means rare, scarce, in short supply, difficult to attain. Okay. That is Durlabh. So Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna. In Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna, the emphasis is on the contemplation on the rarity of the three gems, rarity of enlightenment, rarity of getting the right knowledge. Because if you say right knowledge, of course, it is preceded by right belief. And when right belief and right knowledge is there, the conduct is also right. So whether you say right belief, right knowledge, or you say three gems, it means the same thing. There are different ways of expressing the same thing. So in this particular chapter of contemplation of Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna, 4 points have been discussed. The first point is regarding the rarity of the attainment of these three gems. The first point is that from time immemorial, we are there. There is no beginning for us. So we are there since time immemorial. Now, when we say immemorial, there is no beginning. Okay. So just imagine how long we have been existing here. There is no beginning. So we are eternally existing, right? And in this transmigration, from moving from one state of existence to another state of existence, then to another, it keeps on happening, right? And in this cycle, we have attained everything except for this Bodhi. Why? Because if we would have attained Bodhi, we would have got liberated, right? The moment you attain this Bodhi, the right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, it hardly takes 4 births, 5 births, maximum say 15 births. Once you attain right belief, Srimad Rajchandraji has mentioned in one of his letters that it takes maximum 15 births in terms of number of birth, and in terms of in terms of duration of time, it is Ad Pudgal Paravartan. That is the maximum time you can remain in this worldly existence. Then you have to automatically get liberated. So once you attain right belief once, okay, although you may again come to the wrong belief, but that doesn't matter. Once you have initiated this process of path of liberation by attaining the right belief, you are definitely going to get liberated very soon. So considering the time that we have been here since time immemorial, and if you consider the maximum 15 births also, then it's very minuscule. Okay. So the moment we attain the Bodhi, the liberation follows very soon. We can call it as very soon. And in the present era, which is the fifth era, and that also a very rare Hunda Sprinikal, the one who attains right belief or one who gets into this path of liberation, maximum 2-4 births. Because it is such a rarity in these times to get into this. And if you are getting into it, that means you are going to get liberated very soon. What could be the minimum time that we could get liberated right now from here? It could be the next birth. Okay. So there are 123 souls who are going to get liberated in the next birth in this fifth era. And that also the times have been fixed. In the first 3000 years, there would be 64. Then in the next 3000 years, it would be 32. Then in the next 3000 years, it would be 12. Then 8, 4, 2, 1. Last 3000 years, only one soul would be there who will get liberated in the next birth. So considering this, we are in the now first 3000 years and the figure is 64. So 64 lives from here in this Bharat Kshetra will get liberated in the next birth. They will take birth in the Mahavidesh Kshetra, where Tirthankars are always present, where the fourth era exists all the time, and they will get liberated. They will take they will get initiated into monkhood at the age of 8, and they will soon get omniscience knowledge and subsequently liberation. So it could be that fast also, right? But we are not concerned whether we get liberated in the next birth or after 15 birth. We don't mind, because the moment we attain right belief, we don't consider ourselves as a worldly existence. We consider ourselves as a pure soul. And when we consider ourselves as a pure soul, knowing is our only function. And while knowing, whether we are transmigrating in the one-sensed being or we are getting liberated as a soul, it doesn't matter. Okay. So this is the kind of mindset that we have to develop, that we are pure soul and we have to see things from that perspective, from the perspective of a pure soul. When we say pure soul, means the soul who believes that his primary function is just to know, nothing doing, nothing enjoying, nothing having oneness and mindness in external objects, only knowing, knowing, knowing. Okay. So this is our journey. So from Bodhi Durlabh Bhavana, the first point is about the rarity of the attainment of these 3 gems. The next point would be this Bodhi being 3 gems, right belief, right knowledge, right conduct, is only attained when you take shelter in your soul. And our soul is available all the time, right? So how can it be rare? Okay. So the next point is the easiness of attaining the Bodhi. Okay, that is the second point. First point was opposite. Rarity of attaining the enlightenment. The second point is about the easily availability of this attainment, because it is our nature. It is our inherent nature to manifest into this. So how, when it is our nature, how it could be difficult? So that is the second point. The third point of discussion would be come to a conclusion whether it is difficult, whether it is rare, or it is easily attainable. Okay, that question will be discussed in the third point. And the fourth point, the last discussion would be about the rarity of the association conducive to this enlightenment. Okay. So in that also we will discuss both the things, rarity also, and we will also discuss that how easily it is to attain this bodhi. Okay. So 4 points, very simple. We will read it one by one. Everything has been marked. Soumya is joined. No, Soumya is not joined. So now the updated file is there in the group. So Himali, I can make you a co-host so you can share it in the screen.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. So the last Bhavna, Dharma Bhavna was pending, but yesterday we did that also. So now whatever he has shared is the updated one. Okay. Thank you so much. Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna. So the contemplation would be always on the negative side, Durlabh. But while we are considering the rarity, we also consider the easily availability also. We also consider the particular association related to that also. So the initial words I am just reading. नर दे उत्तम देश, पूर्ण आयु, शुभ आजीविका, दूर वासना की मंदता, परिवार की अनुकूलता, सत सज्जनों की संगति, सत धर्म की आराधना है उत्तरो उत्तर महादुर्लभ आत्मा की साधना. What it says, to attain a human birth, it's very rare. Then to be born in an auspicious Arya land. So we are in now Arya land. Okay. If we would have been in a Dravidian land, religion was very scarce. In fact, it is not present there. We would not have access to this true religion. Then to have a full lifespan, because many of the souls gets death while in during pregnancy stage only. Then some of also get births and then immediately they die. So to get a full lifespan, it's again a rarity. Then to have access to rightful and non-violent means of livelihood. है ना? So that also is very Ayush Shubh Ajivika, Shubh Ayujika. Non-violent means. Now, if you would have got a job in an abattoir, you know abattoir, right? So if you would have got a job in abattoir, you could have continued with violence all the time. Now you tell me, where would be the eligibility to get to this religion? If you are indulging in very sinful activities, you are not going to attend this. Only when the passions are very mild, you get access to this kind of association, true God, true scriptures, and true monks. Then one page before this is all given. Yeah. To have weakened negative tendency, durvasna, right? So we all have mostly auspicious tendencies. That's why we are able to read this, understand this, indulge in this, right? So most of the time it is the heightened negative tendency, durvasna, every day in the newspaper you see so many crimes happening all the time. Now this is something which has been reported in newspaper. There are infinite other crimes happening which never get reported. Okay. So you could see that we are all with mild passions now. So that is conducive to study this kind of scriptures. To have family members who are aligned with dharma, right? To gain association with true principles and virtuous individuals. To possess the intent for the aradhana or sadhana. This is very important. You should also have attent. I have got many people have got the association, but who is interested in this kind of religion? And to have a disposition for the sadhana of the Atma. Each of these is successively exceedingly rare. Okay. So now you could visualize how rare it is to get into this. So this whole verse has been explained here. Now we move on to the main discussion. Okay. Rekha, You start reading. Next page. Himani.
Yes, sir. But there is also this one truth to consider. When I myself am the Gneya, object of knowledge, and I myself am the Gnana, knowledge. When I myself am the Dhyeya, object of meditation, and I myself am also the
Next
Dhyan.
page. It is next page. 150. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. From here, the beginnings. So this first two
Okay.
lines where that is what we discussed just now. Now the
Ah,
beginning in this universe.
ah.
So the
In
point
this yes,
point
sir.
is not mentioned because in that it was mentioned. So this is 1A.
Okay. In this universe, composed of six substances, uh, Sat Dravya Mai Loka,
Hmm.
neither the association in the form of the Gnye, knowable, nor association related in fluctual disposition, Ashrav Bhav, is truly rare because we have attended all these times before. And if even now we have not known or recognized ourselves, then we will continue to encounter them in the future as well. What is truly rare is solely the knowing of the self, the recognition of the self, to be established in the self, to reveal in the self. For since beginningless time, we have obtained everything else, but have not been able to recognize or know ourselves in the true sense. Had we truly known and recognized ourselves, we would not still be wandering in the universe. Rather, we would be seated in the Siddhashila, situated at the pinnacle of the universe. We would have become free of mithyatva, false, false belief, agnana, ignorance, and asayam, indiscipline, and would have attained infinite bliss. We would have become possessors of Ananta Darshan, infinite perception, and Anantavirya, infinite energy, and would have realized the Siddhishila, the transcendent abode of non-sensory bliss. Our present unfortunate and painful condition is solely due to our inability to recognize and know our own self. Therefore, the right use of this rare opportunity, this human birth, less is accomplished the supremely rare task of knowing and recognizing oneself. Knowing oneself, recognizing oneself, and becoming absorbed in one's own self, this alone is Bodhi enlightenment. That is Darshan Gyan Charitra, right percept, right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. This Bodhi in the form of Darshan Gyan Charitra is rare, exceedingly rare in this world. And the reflection, contemplation, and repeated contemplation on the rarity of this Bodhi itself is Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna, the contemplation on the rarity of enlightenment.
Stop. So the point continues. There are references from different scriptures, but this is the essence of the first point, that the rarity of the attainment of this bodhi. Okay. So this is the first point. The first point ends at why it is not mentioned, that's again a surprise. In the next page, page 152 and 152 and so here within oneself. Within oneself is the end of point number 1A. Then the next page we will continue with 1B. That is on page number 154. 154. Yes. Thus, from thus. Yes. This is 1B. So we will read one paragraph from here and it continues up to page 155. Second paragraph. Yes. Rarity of enlightenment. Such constant self-oriented, inspiring contemplation in itself the reflection on the Bodhi Durlabh Bhavana. Okay. So now we will refer to that one paragraph of 1B starting. Yes, thank you. Thus to become engrossed. Okay. Rekha, continue with that for one paragraph only. Thus,
Even if one attains
no,
Manushya,
thus, from thus.
okay, Thus, to become engrossed in sensual pleasures, even after attaining religion, which is obtained with utmost difficulty, is as futile as lightning sandalwood for burning into ashes. And even if one becomes dispassionate towards sensual pleasures, the attainment of the spirit of austerity, tapa, the influence of religion, dharma ki prabhavna, and natural absorption, sahaj samadhi, especially the peaceful death-like state of samadhi is extremely rare. To reflect that only when these are attained, does the attainment of bodhi, awakening becomes fruitful. This very reflection is called bodhi durlabh bhavana, contemplation of the rarity of enlightenment.
Stop. So you see, this is the essence of this discussion. And one word that we discussed just now in this paragraph is about samadhi. Samadhi is a very important event in the life of a seeker, right? And who can attain samadhi? Samadhi means having a peaceful death, right? Like you are in the association of all your co-religionists, they are chanting some words for you, they are making you understand something, they are every now and then reminding you that you are the pure soul, get engrossed in it. All these kind of situations, and having a gradual peaceful death is something very rare, you know, and that can only be attained to those seeker who have struggled all his life into practice and worship of the self soul. Okay, so when your life is like that, of course your death will also be like that, peaceful death. It will always be peaceful death. We are not worried what will happen to our family member, what will happen to our wealth, nothing, because we know that there is nothing in this universe of ours, right? There is nothing called ours. It is our imagination that we believe that this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. And with the study of the scriptures, the delusion has been removed. And now we know things in the right perspective, that I am the only sole entity in this universe for myself. There is everything else is non-self. So apart from self, everything else is non-self, same category for all, right? So that is the time you will have a peaceful death. Okay. So this is something we discussed it right now. Now moving on to the second point, which discusses with the easily attainability of these three gems. Okay, so it begins from page number 155, third paragraph. Apart from the above, this is point number 2. It goes on into the next page, 156, middle part. They are difficult. They are difficult. Yes, yes. They are difficult, durlab. It ends there. Third point begins after that only. Here a question arises whether it is difficult, rare, or it is easily available. That is the discussion. That is third point. It goes on to the next page, 157, then 158 also. Yeah, 158, first paragraph itself, it ends complementary to one another. This is the end of third point. And the fourth point begins next question with the question. Fourth point about the associations. Okay. So that is the fourth point, and then it goes up to the end, which is on page number 159 last. Yes. In this very lifetime. Okay. So now we have marked all the 4 points. Now we begin with the second point. Gia, you read the second point about the easily availability of this bodhi, enlightenment, because it is something that is manifested. We take shelter in our soul, and our soul is always available. So how that could be difficult, right?
Yes.
If you say that I want to make say 100 crores of wealth, then it could be difficult because it all depends on your destiny. If you don't have good luck, whatever you try, you will not get it. And if you have good luck from the past, even if you are not doing anything, you get enough wealth, you know. So, so getting into those things, being successful in those things is a rarity. But getting into this kind of Ratnatray, the three gems, attaining these three gems, it could not be difficult because it is manifested by taking shelter in our soul, and that is nobody can stop us by taking shelter in our soul, right? So so this is how can this be rarity. So this is easily available, attainable. That is what we are going to discuss in point number 2. So just read through, Jia.
Yeah. Apart from the above contemplative process of Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna, reflection on the rarity of enlightenment, another process is also found which harmoniously bridges Nishchay Vyavhar, the absolute standpoint and the conventional standpoint. In this, the mode of contemplation is such: Bodhi is my own intrinsic nature. How can it be rare? If my very essential nature is considered rare, then what indeed would be naturally attainable? It is due to my ignorance and disinterest that I have made it seem rare, whereas in reality it is inherently accessible and natural. In this context, Pandit Jayachandji Chabda has presented the following verse of the Bara Bhavna with the following diacritical rendering. Right perception, right knowledge, and right conduct, which together constitute Bodhi, are the inherent nature of the soul. Therefore, they are not inherently difficult to attain from the absolute standpoint. However, attaining it in the cycle of existence is difficult, and this is said from the conventional standpoint. Similar sentiment has been expressed by Brother Bhagwati Das ji. The tendencies of external substances are not under one's control. Therefore, the states of other substances are in reality difficult to attain. O soul, your nature, which is of the form of infinite knowledge, is not difficult to attain in any way. The intent of this line of contemplation is that in this world one's own substance is considered easy to attain, whereas another's is considered difficult. When reflected upon deeply, this appears to be true because what truly belongs to us is always available. How can its attainment be difficult? However, the reference here is not to the essential nature of the nature of knowledge, but rather to the modification of the soul's nature in the form of right perception, right knowledge, and right conduct, which has remained unmanifested from beginningless time. Although it is true that the Swabhav Paryay in the form of Samyak Darshan, Samyak Jnana, and Samyak Charitra is not present from beginningless time, Anadi, yet the faith on the inherently omniscient nature of the soul, Jnana Sabhav, which is beginningless, infinite, and eternally available, is called Samyak Darshan. Knowing it is called Samyak Jnana, and abiding in it is called Samyak Charitra. Therefore, perceiving the eternally available, unchanging soul, which exists in all three times, is inherently easy as it is within one's own control. On the other hand, worldly beings depend on external factors, are not naturally easy to attain. Rather, they're difficult. Yeah.
Stop. Second point ends. So how it could be difficult when it is our inherent nature? Okay. So why it is being said difficult in the first place? That is the question. Okay. So the logical answer that author has given, that it is being said that it is difficult from the conventional point of view, right? Not from the real point of view. From the real point of view, it is our inherent nature. When we take shelter in our nature, inherent nature, automatically we manifest right belief, right knowledge, right conduct. Okay. So our soul is available all the time, and we are independent of manifesting these three gems. We don't have to depend on any karmas, any external entity, nothing. It is our own journey, and we are only responsible for that, and we are capable of doing that. And that's why so much of sermons have been given to us, because we are capable of manifesting that. So it cannot be rare, it is easily attainable. You make efforts in the right directions. And in terms of efforts, what three things we have to do, Jia?
Uh,
in terms of efforts, what we discuss, generally discuss, 3 steps. Rekha?
Sir, we have to develop right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, sir.
So how that will be
By
uh,
reading again and again,
uh,
contemplating, and then arriving to the decisions.
yes, 3 steps. First part is the reading part, okay? Unless and until you read, how can you contemplate? The second part is the contemplation. In contemplation, generally it's the analysis that we are doing. So now also in this particular chapter, we are also doing analysis, whether it is rare or easily attainable, okay? So once you analyze a bit, it's easy to take a decision. And the third part is the decision, that is only we have to do in terms of effort, okay? So you don't have to fast for 1 month, yeah, to manifest this right belief. What we have to do? Read, that we are all doing here, 5 years course, you are constantly doing some homework or the other, you are attending regular classes, this is enough. And the second part is contemplation. So once you read it, then you always contemplate, then you relate it to your day-to-day life situations, that see, I tried so much, but I could not be successful in this. Why? So then you have the answer. You don't get depressed because the eligibility of the moment has not come. So things have not happened, although I have put in efforts, right? But I will try the next time. I will do it in a better way. I will find ways and means why I could be successful. So this is the contemplation is the most important part, and in contemplation you are doing the analysis, the pros and cons, all looking at all the angles from which we could be successful. The third part is the decision making. Once you have analyzed and established that this is what we are going to do, you made a strategy for yourself, and then you follow that strategy, and automatically you arrive at the decision. And once decided, it stays with you, okay? And you are able to apply it when the situation demands. So this is the easily attainability of the enlightenment. Now the third point is the final decision, whether it is rare to attain these 3 gems or it is easily attainable. That is the third point, and we already discussed both the points, and that is going to come repetition in this only. How can it be rare, and if it is rare, then how it is rare, okay? All this discussion and the final conclusion that we are just going to touch base upon. Uh, Page number 158. Just read the final conclusion. In the contemplation of Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna. Read, Jia. 3-4 lines. No, you already left. Before that. Starting. Yeah, 158 starting.
Yeah. In the contemplation of Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna, the rarity of Bodhi is highlighted to alert the seeker towards its attainment, and its attainability is emphasized to dispel discouragement towards the pursuit. Thus, we see that in the contemplation of Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna, both aspects, its rarity and attainability, are equally useful, necessary, and complementary to one another.
So main point is they are complementary to one another. When we are discussing the rarity, then the author wants to alert the seeker towards its attainment, right? It is a rarity, so you have put in the right efforts, then only you will be able to attain it, okay? So it's just alerting the seeker towards its attainment. And when we say it is easily attainable, the its easily attainability is emphasized to dispel discouragement towards the pursuit. It is not that it is difficult to attain. You put in right efforts, you will attain. Okay. So both things need together simultaneously, and both complement each other. They are not the opposites, but they complement each other. Okay. Thus we see in the contemplation of Bodhi Durlambana, both aspects, its rarity and attainability, are equally useful, necessary, and complementary to one another. One is from the conventional point of view and the other one is from the real point of view. So both the aspects are equally useful, necessary, complementary to one another. When you are getting complacent, then the author will say it's very rare to attain. So put in the right effort. And when you feel depressed that, oh, it's not going to be possible in this birth, that point of time the author will say, no, it is easily attainable, it is your nature, you take shelter, right? So both the things are there depending on the situation of life that we are undergoing through. If we are overconfident, then they will show the rarity. If we are depressed, they will show the easily attainability. So it complements one another. Now the final question is about the association. Association, those are conducive to the attainability of this enlightenment. Okay, whether they are also rare or they are also easily attainable. So both the points will again be discussed here in the fourth point, and that is what we are going to read now. Soumya, problem is that the markings are not showing here in this. So Himali, you have downloaded the final one, or it's the
Yes,
earlier
sir.
one that you have shown?
No, sir, the final one.
So the points are not showing, even the corrections are also not in place. So I think something has gone wrong. You have shared the wrong copy.
Sir, let me share it, sir.
Yeah, you share it. I'm making you host, and let's see how it works. So we will be discussing now the fourth point, that is straightway we move on to the page number 158. 111, yeah, next page only. Question. In the Bodhi Durlabhavana at certain places from there. So here the point shows, right?
Yeah, but it's not showing in mine.
I don't know. Let's see this one again.
Okay, sir, let me check. I will share this one also after the class.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
So, Pratibhaji, you read.
Question. In the Bodhi Durlabh Bhavana, at certain places, some associations are also described as being easily available, since they have been attained countless times, as is evident from the following verse. Can I skip that?
Yeah.
And at certain places, the associations are also described as exceedingly rare. This is evident from the citation in the Sarvartha Siddhi, where it is stated that the attainment of Trasaparya Panchasendriyana, human birth, Aradhyasa, and the Vitarag Dharma is progressively exceedingly rare. When then is the actual position or these associations easily attainable or rare? Answer. Brother, just as from different standpoints, the attainment of Bodhi is both easy and difficult. In the same way, associations too are easy from one perspective and difficult from another. Since they have been attained countless times, they are indeed easy. It is not incorrect to say they are easy. However, as they are not obtainable according to one's own will, they are also exceedingly rare, thus calling them difficult is also not inconsistent. In order to diminish the infinite glory of associations formed in the mind, it is stated that they have enjoyed them countless times. This is said to make them easily accessible. leading to detachment from them to inspire devotion. Knowledge about the difficulty of associations conducive to self-worship is also imparted. In this way, we see that Bodhi Durlabh Bhavana, all four aspects are contemplated, associations being both easily available and rare, and Bodhi being both accessible and difficult to attain. Because this indeed is the real nature of reflecting on the rarity of Bodhi. In it, profound contemplation of all the above mentioned 4 points is encompassed. The mind has been attached to associations since beginningless time. Therefore, initially, by highlighting the fact that these have been attained countless times, declaring them to be easily accessible and of leftover value, detachment from them is aroused. Simultaneously, by pointing out the Bodhi has not yet been attained to this day, its rarity is emphasized, therefore cultivating attachment towards its pursuit.
Stop. So both are being discussed, the rarity and the easily availability of the association which are conducive to this Bodhi, enlightenment, the three gems. Okay. Similarly to Bodhi, the associations are also rare and also easily available. So again, depends on the situation. If you are feeling depressed, they will say, oh, everything is available. You just now study and you manifest right belief. And if you are overconfident, they will say it is very rare. Don't lose time on sensual pleasures. They are not the actual happiness. This is the real happiness. And if you read and contemplate and arrive at a decision, you will attain it. Okay. So depending on the situation in which a living being is there in his life, the author or the acharyas give instructions accordingly. One very good example in Moksha Prakashak about this is, if you get fever from heat, the doctor gives medicines which are cold in nature. And if you have got a fever with cold, they give medicines which are hot in nature, right? So similarly, our Acharya also prescribes whether it is difficult or it is easy, depending on the situations that you are in. Accordingly, you will be given the instruction. So you have to find a balance among all. Now we move on to the last bhavana, that is Dharma bhavana, and there are 8 points to it. Okay. So the pointing has already been done. We are lucky now. So it's not there. Yeah. So frame where it begins, 1 point. So everything is given. Even the corrections are also in place. So it will be easy for us to do it. Okay. So one transliteration was missing, that has been given here, and that is supposed to come after Dharma Bhavana Ek Anushilan. Okay. So in this Dharma Bhavana, what is Dharma? Okay. So Dharma or the religion is nothing but passionlessness, detachment, vitragata. Then dharma is also called equanimity, where you are not manifesting either aversion or attachment. Okay, that means you are absorbing everything. You have trained your knowledge so much that whatever reflects in it, you are not reacting. That is also called vitrakta. Okay, so vitrakta has been defined. Vitrakta, dharma, samta is all, these are synonymous. Then one more word comes in between, is madhyastha bhav. So madhyastha bhav, I think 1 minute. Synonymous is which point? Oh, it's in the last point. Coming to the conclusion, uh, uh, I'll tell you what is madhyastha bhav. 8th point. So different words are used, but it means the same. Page number 173, first paragraph. So this dharma or the religion has been referred, page 173, first paragraph. So from different perspective, different words are used, but it means the same. Yeah, this one. In the Nai Chakra that reveals the intrinsic nature of substance, Dravya, Swabhav, Prakashak, Nai Chakra, Dharma, that is religion, is referred to by many names such as Shuddh Bhav, pure state, Vitrakta, dispassion, detachment, passionlessness. And while presenting the alternative names for Dharma, the author of the Dravya Nai Chakra, okay. So equanimity, the next paragraph you see, equanimity means the same, neutrality means the same, pure state means the same. So samta, madhyastha bhav. Madhyastha bhav is neutrality. That is what I was looking at. Madhyastha bhav. Madhyastha bhav means you are not manifesting attachment nor aversion. That is called madhyastha bhav, neutrality. Okay. We also refer sometimes the word indifferent, remain indifferent. Okay. So again, that means the same. Equanimity, neutrality, pure state, dispassion, conduct, charitra, and the worship of one's own nature, swabhav ki aradhna. All these are referred to as dharma. So dharma has got different interpretations. That is what we are going to discuss here in Dharma Bhavna. Okay. So I will read the Hindi verse and explain. Nij atma ko janna, pehchanna. We are again back to page 162. Yes. So this is the transliteration. निज आत्मा को जानना पहचानना ही धर्म है. Knowing the self and recognizing it. So meaning is given in the next paragraph, so that we will read. निज आत्मा को साधना आराधना ही धर्म है. Sadhana means practice and aradhana means worship. So that is the true religion. शुद्ध आत्मा की साधना आराधना ही मर्म है. That is the essence. निज आत्मा की ओर बढ़ती भावना ही धर्म है. A practice of knowing and recognizing one's own self is dharma. The practice and worship of one's own self is dharma. Practice and worship, sadhana and aradhana. The essence of the practice and worship of the purest self is dharma. The increasing focus towards one's own self is dharma. So this is dharma in short, has been defined in this transliteration in the very first verse. Okay. Now we will be reading. There is a correction here that is up to extremely rare. We have to cut. So extremely rare in the first paragraph, we have to cut first 1, 2, 3. 3.5 lines. Extremely rare. Yeah. This we have to cut and then we have to insert this one, the bottom one. Okay. So that is the correction. Okay. So you have to start reading from here. In the initial 9 contemplations, the contemplation on knowable association. Okay. From there, the first point starts. In the first point, I will briefly tell you everything, and we will only be reading the important one, and I will be only reading because we have less time to complete today. So what is the true religion? So the unity of right belief, right knowledge and right conduct is true religion, dharma bhavna. Okay. So this is true. What is true religion? Samyak darshan, samyak gyan, samyak charitra is true religion. So in this particular religion, the complete Charnan Yoga will come. Okay. Because in Charnan Yoga, we discuss householders' religion and the monks' religion. Okay. That's what constitutes Charnan Yoga. what are the external behavior, what should be the external behavior of an householder, Shravak, and what should be the external behavior of a monk. That is discussed in Charnan Yoga. So whole Charnan Yoga will be included in this Dharma Bhavana. Okay, because Dharma Bhavana is actually manifesting the religion that we are going to discuss, and we actually manifest religion, then our external activities are also conducive to that. And what should be the external activities of a householder or a monk, that has been described in Charnan Yoga. So Charnan Yoga is also a part of discussion of Dharma Bhavana. Then one verse that one paragraph that I'm going to study, that is very important, and that is about the Kartikeya Swami's Anupreksha, spread across 185 verses. So in this Kartikeya Anupreksha, yeah, this paragraph, spread across 162, last paragraph. Yes, this one, spread across 185 verses. So this is Kartikeya Anupreksha. So in Kartikeya Anupreksha, total number of verses is 489. Out of that, 185 verse is dedicated to Dharma Bhavana, the last contemplation. Why? Because it is the conclusion of all, right? So many more emphasis is placed on this Dharma Bhavana particular, because this is ultimately that we want to manifest. By contemplating the previous 11 contemplations, we want to arrive at Dharma, the true religion. Okay, so that has been very detailedly explained in Kartikeya Pariksha, and it includes 185 verse. Okay, this contemplation elaborately discusses both Sravak Dharma, the path of the householder follower, and Muni Dharma, the path of the ascetics. So there are only two ways: either you are a householder or you are an ascetic. So both are discussed in that 185 verse. For the purpose of detailed reflection on Samyak Darshan Gyan Charitra, that is the true religion, okay? Right belief, right knowledge, and conduct. Topics such as Dev Shastra Guru, true Dev, true Guru, and true Shastra. Reverence for the divine scriptures and teachers. The 8 components of Samyak Darshan, okay? The 8 attributes of a right believer. We have studied this in Chaydala. Okay. Nishankit, Nikankshit, and all 8 are there. So that is being discussed here. Okay. The 12 vows, the 11 stages, Pratima, that also we discussed in Tattvagyan part 2. The 10 virtues, Das Lakshan Dharma, this also you know. 12 austerities, tap, that also we discussed yesterday, and 4 types of meditation. Okay, Artha Dhyan, Rodra Dhyan, Dharma Dhyan, and Shukla Dhyan. Okay, so these 4 types of meditation, although we have not discussed this anywhere, but we will be discussing this in Tattvarth Sutra. Okay, have all been included in this Dharma Bhavana. So this is a comprehensive setup of Dharma Bhavana. The next point in the first point is, so this is where we end first point, and moving on to the second point. So in this particular Dharma Bhavana, this scripture of Kartikeya Anupreksha, 3 words have been included: 321, 322, 323. Okay, that is being discussed in the second point. Okay, and from there we arrive at a principle of Krambad Paryay, sequence bound modification. This is what we are going to discuss in detail in paper number 2 in the coming semester. Okay, very interesting topic, Krambad Paryay. Once you understand this principle of sequence bound modification, Krambad Paryay, which has been picked up from this particular Dharma Bhavana of Kartikeya Nupreksha. Okay, so this is the second point, and this principle we are going to discuss at length in paper number 2. Paper number 2 only is this Krambat Paryay, and that is going to be the ultimate source of your happiness once you are able to understand this principle very nicely, immediately it relaxes your mind. No tension, no depression, no worries, nothing, nothing, nothing. That is the principle of Krambat Paryay sequence bound modification. That also we are going to cover very vividly in paper number 2. So we are not discussing, we just read through the page number, point number 2. Coming on to the point number 3. Okay. The point 3 is about the glorification of the true religion. What is its true nature? And the main point that is being highlighted in this point number 3 is that if you know there is one Chintamani Ratan, whatever you think, you get those things immediately without doing any effort. Okay. So in Chintamani Ratan, you have to at least thought of that thing that you want, right? You have to think on that thing so that you get it, right? But here it says that religion is always available. You don't have to ask for it and you will get it. It is so easy. So we'll start with the third point, okay? And then we move on to the further points. So third point, who will read? We'll just reading it. I've already explained you in brief what it is all about. So Himali, you read. You are left and Soumya is left.
Yes. While one side of the Dharma Bhavana, contemplation of Dharma, has been explained in great detail, on the other hand, many poets have compressed it into a single verse, most of which praise the glory of Dharma and convey the pure inspiration for the practice of Dharma. In many of these works, an attempt has also been made to clarify the true nature of Dharma. The renowned poet Buddhadasa has explained.
Bhudar Dasji.
Bhudar Dasji has explained the glory of Dharma in a profound and meaningful manner, which is as follows. Jamase Sudataru Deya Sukha
You
Chinta.
can skip that. You can skip that.
Okay. The Kalpavriksha, wish-fulfilling tree, bears fruits when one makes a wish or asks for something, and the Chintamani, which is the wish-fulfilling gem, yields results upon contemplation. But Dharma grants the highest fruits even without asking or contemplation. On the one hand, where does the Kalpavriksha stand? On one hand, where does the Kalpavriksha stand, which bestows trivial sensual enjoyments only when humbly requested? And in contrast, where stands Dharma, which, without any solicitation, offers wondrous supramundane bliss? Likewise, where stands the Chintamani gem, which fulfills specific desires only when consciously contemplated, and where stands the sublime Dharma, which bestows unfathomable bliss even without such reflection? Even though the naive world may go on singing praises of the Chintamani gem and the Kalpavriksha, and may even draw comparisons between them and Dharma, where do they truly stand in comparison to Dharma? Neither the Chintamani gem nor the Kalpavriksha can equal the sacred Dharma, which bestows infinite bliss and peace. In this way, through Dharma Bhavana, contemplation on Dharma, the inconceivable glory of the Ratna Dharma as three jewels, is revealed, offering us sacred inspiration to make one's life permeated with Dharma. Here, a question may arise. Since one does not need to ask from the Kalpavriksha in a humble manner, then why is it being said that one must ask with humility? Brother, asking without humility is simply not possible. Humility naturally arises in the act of asking. In fact, asking itself is humility. It is the very form of humility. Indeed, asking has even been likened to death. The poet Rahim says that those individuals who go to others' homes to ask for alms are as good as dead. This is because, having lost their sense of self-respect, they are no different from the dead. However, even when one has lost pride, the true essence is in the ability to refuse humbly when asked. This shows that denying, even when one is capable of giving, is far worse than the act of asking itself. Thus, in comparison to the Kalpavriksha, wish-giving tree, which only bestows trivial material possessions, when humbly asked, Dharma, which offers supreme transcendental joy without any request, stands unparalleled.
So this is our way of life. We are always seeking this happiness, right? So we don't have to ask for it because that is, we have made this as our purpose of our life. So all the time, whatever we do, our endeavor is to manifest happiness. Okay. And this has been showered, this can be, this showers, this is showered on us from our soul without asking. Okay. So this is the glorification of the true religion, the three gems. Okay. Now the next point, the fourth point is about the same dharma from the real point of view. What is dharma from the real point of view and what is dharma from the conventional point of view? That is the point of discussion in number 4. And I will explain you in very short, in one paragraph only. Dipchandji. While addressing himself, the wise scholar Dipchandji states that, O soul, chanting austerity, morality, self-control and renunciation, okay, jap, tap, seal, sanyam, all these external activities are part of the conventional dharma. So this is dharma from the conventional point of view. Whereas the true dharma, Nischay dharma, which grants real happiness, resides in the consciousness of the pure soul, are all forms of practical dharma. The true happiness giving definite dharma is the self-luminous nature of the Supreme Soul, Bhagwan Atma, which resides in the consciousness of the true self. So the real dharma is the manifestation of right belief, right knowledge and right conduct, which is again happiness and bliss only. Okay. So from the real point of view, this is the true dharma. From the conventional point of view, all these external activities which are conducive to this real dharma are also called dharma from the conventional perspective. Now the fifth point is the main point. Fifth and seventh point are the main points. In the fifth point, there are 5 definitions given of dharma. Okay. In fact, 4 are the main points. Four different definitions of dharma has been given, and that is we are going to study about this in detail in the 7th point. But in the 5th point, the names have been mentioned. The 4th names, what is the true dharma? Okay. So that we are going to discuss in the 5th point, which is on page number 167. Okay. A similar sentiment has been expressed by Pandit Sada Sukhdas ji as follows. Okay. What is true dharma? Okay. So that has been explained here. In the world, everyone refers to something or the other by the name dharma. Okay. So this word of dharma is very popular across all religion. Okay. And everyone has got his own interpretation of the word dharma. And everyone believes that they are the correct one. Okay. But when we analyze from different perspective, what is the true religion? That is the time we realize that what is the true religion means. However, the true meaning of the word dharma is that this Pandit Sada Sukhdas ji has given in the commentary of Ratnakaran Sravakachar. Okay, Ratnakaran Sravakachar is a very good scripture written by Samanbhadra Acharya. Okay, and on that, this scholar Sada Sukhdas ji, Pandit Sada Sukhdas ji, has written a commentary which is also very, very interesting. If you get a chance, do read these commentaries, very nice commentaries. So in that commentary, The definition of dharma is given as such: that which liberates the soul from the suffering of wandering through the modes such as hell and animal birth. Okay. So dharma is something which liberates the soul from the suffering of wandering through the modes, different modifications, such as hell and animal birth, and establishes it in the supreme spiritual, eternal, and suprasensory bliss of liberation, moksha. That alone is dharma. So this is very good definition, that dharma is what? Practically what you want in terms of religion. That which liberates from the suffering. You will never feel sorry any point of time. You will never complain of anything any point of time if you understand these principles clearly, because there is no way to complain for anything, because there is nothing that is happening which is not in order. Everything is happening in perfect order. Okay. So dharma is something that which liberates the soul from the suffering of these four realms of existence that we have been wandering from time immemorial, the transmigration, and establishes it in the supreme spiritual, eternal, and suprasensory bliss, uninterrupted. Once you get liberated, there is no way that you will ever suffer again. Okay. So that is called suprasensory bliss of liberation. So this is one definition, which is, then there are four more definitions. It begins from the, okay, we will read this one also. Such dharma cannot be purchased. It is not available in the market that you pay something and you get dharma. Nowadays, people feel that by donating some money, they are doing dharma. So there are different interpretations of dharma across all religions, and even in terms of Jainism, somebody believes doing punya karma is dharma, right? Donating something, giving something in charity, helping the poor. Now, in terms of philanthropy, you know that Bill Gates, they made have a foundation. Then in India, we have Azim Premji Foundation. They are giving lots of money. Even Ambani, Adani, they are doing so much of charity work, and all believes that they are doing dharma. But this dharma is not something that can be purchased by giving some donation. No, it is not something that can be attained by spending wealth through acts of charity, honors, and the like, nor can it be given by anyone as if it could be obtained by pleasing someone through service or worship. It is not kept in temples, mountains, water, fire, divine idols, or pilgrimages that one might go there and bring it back. It is also not attained through fasting, vows, bodily austerities, or by emaciating the body through penance. Nor is dharma realized by donating items in temples of the gods, by performing mandal puja, by renouncing the household for the forest or cremation grounds, or even by chanting the names of the Supreme Lord. Okay, this is not the dharma. Dharma is the very nature of the soul. Vastu sabhavo dhammo is the very nature of the soul. So dharma is the very nature of the soul. That is the first definition out of the four that we are going to discuss. Abandoning the self. 1 minute. Abandoning the self, uh, abandoning the notion of self in the other. Okay, that is the non-self, and instead cultivating faith, experience, and conduct rooted in one's own knowing, seeing nature. Okay, Gyata Drashta Roop Swabhav, our nature. Conduct rooted in one's own knowing, seeing nature, and in the nature of the knowable. Gnei Swabhav, this alone is Dharma. Okay. So this is the first definition of Dharma. The second one, when the soul transforms through the 10 supreme virtues, Uttam, Shama, Adi, Das Lakshan, supreme forbearance, right? So you all have read Das Lakshan. So when the soul transforms through the 10 supreme virtues, that is the second definition of Dharma. The third one, manifest as 3 jewels, Ratnatrai Dharma. This is the third definition. And fourth is assumes a disposition of compassion, Daya Dharma. So these are the 4 popular definitions of Dharma. Vastu ka swabhav Dharma, first one. When the soul transformed through, no, not that one, the first paragraph. Dharma is the very nature of the soul. That is the first definition. Last paragraph, come down.
Scroll down.
Yeah, scroll down. So this is the first definition. Dharma is the very nature of the soul. First one. Okay. The second one, when the soul transforms through the 10 supreme virtues. This is second. Then 3 jewels is the third one. And the fourth one assumes a disposition of compassion. Okay. So these are the 4 definitions of Dharma. This will be elaborated in the 7th point. We are now in the 5th point. Okay. We will complete this point anyways. 5th point. Where are we? One minute. I have lost track. So we are on to 167. Not 168. We are into 167. Further, scroll further up. Yes. Yeah. Okay. When the external material, space, time, etc., okay, Pardravya, Kshetra, Kal, are merely incidental, instrumental causes. When the soul abandons the transformation in the form of passion and attains the state of non-attachment, vitrakta, then temples, idols, pilgrimages, donations, austerities, and chants, all of these are forms of dharma. Okay. Dharma Rupa. So all these are conventional form. The real dharma is when you attain the state of non-attachment. Okay. That we discussed in the very first point, all the synonyms. Okay. Neutrality. Then what else we have discussed? I think one more time I have to refer that. 8th point. Okay. So equanimity, neutrality, pure state, dispassion, detachment, conduct, all these are synonyms of dharma. Okay. So coming back to this point, we are on to 167. Yeah. So here, if one's own soul does not transform into the state of supreme forgiveness, etc., non-attachment with right knowledge, then dharma does not exist anywhere. Okay. So this is when there is a shubhrag, auspicious attachment, there is the bondage of merit. Okay. Yeah. Where there is a ashubhrag and delusion, aversion and delusion, there is the bondage of seen. In contrast, when there is dharma in the form of pure faith, knowledge and conduct, there is an absence of bondage, and only with the absence of bondage does one attain supreme bliss. Therefore, that alone is dharma. So this is the 5th point. Now in the 6th point, the question has come up, what is the difference between the Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna and the Dharma Bhavna? Because in Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna, you also discuss the 3 gems. And here also in Dharma Bhavna, you are discussing the 3 gems. So why this repetition? Why 2 different contemplation for the same thing? Okay, that is the question. And that is point number 6 on page number 169. Yeah, second paragraph. Yeah. Here a question may arise. Okay. So So this is the question. Here a question may arise when both the terms Bodhi and Dharma refer to the Dharma in the form of three jewels. Okay. Then why have Bodhi, Durlabhta and Dharma, these two contemplation have been placed separately? Okay. This is the question. What is the fundamental difference in the subject matter of the two? Okay. So this is the question, and in answer to that, see, they said that Bodhi is not the name of the 11th contemplation. It is Bodhi Durlabh, rarity of the attainment of the three gems. Okay. So it is not Bodhi Bhavna and Dharma Bhavna. Bodhi and Dharma are synonymous. Okay. But it is not Bodhi Bhavna, it is Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna. And there the rarity of the attainment of this Bodhi is discussed. Okay. Although we have also discussed the easily availability of the Bodhi, and we have also discussed the complementary nature of these two. Both are useful, both have its own place in the uh, religion. Okay. And the last point that we discussed in Bodhi was about the association. Association are also rare and association are also easily attainable. Both aspects we discussed. So that was in Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna. Here in Dharma Bhavna, we are discussing purely the attainment of right belief, right knowledge and right conduct. That is the true Dharma. Okay. So this is the difference. Okay. So now the last point, not the last point, second last point, seventh point, where we want to discuss the four religion in a little bit of detailed discussion. Okay. So seventh point, Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna. So Soumya, you read this seventh full point and then we will conclude with the eighth point.
Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna is the true worship of the divine soul in the form of non-violent and passionless transformation, whether as supreme forbearance, etc., or as right faith, etc. It is the proper path that realizes the goal of liberation. It is the generator of infinite transcendental bliss and the noble contemplation that ferries one across the ocean of worldly existence. This non-violent, passionless transformation itself is the real dharma, of which the 10 supreme virtues, beginning with Uttam Shama, are the manifest forms. The passionless, non-violent transformation that arises through the support of the soul's inherent nature, according to the statement Vattu Sahavo Dhammo, meaning the nature of the substance itself is dharma, that soul nature itself is dharma, and the transformation that manifests from it in the form of right faith, knowledge, and conduct is also dharma. This very Vitarag Parnati is known as divine non-violence, which is regarded as supreme dharma. As is evident from the following statement of the Kashaya Pahud, the arising of passions such as attachment in the soul is itself violence, and the non-arising of such passions is non-violence, so has been sent by the omniscient Lord. Acharya Amrit Chandra has also expressed this very sentiment in the Purusharth Siddhi Upaya. Thus, we see that dharma in the form of three jewels, that is Ratnatraya, right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. The dharma of the 10 supreme virtues, Uttam Samadhi, the Selection Dharma, the worship, adoration, contemplation, and pursuit of the inner divine self, Nij Bhagwan Atma, and the divine non-violence, that is Bhagavati Ahimsa. All of these are merely different expressions or names of the one and only dharma in the form of passionless transformation, Vitrag Parinati. Therefore, contemplation on any of these is itself dharma bhavna, contemplation on dharma. A contemplative reflection that leads to detachment and turns the soul inward on any of these aspects is the core of dharma bhavna for the worthy aspirant. All forms of dharma are encompassed within the pure modifications, Shuddha Parinamas, of a passionless disposition, Vitrak Parnati. As stated in the commentary on Paramatma Prakash, that which rescues beings fallen in the cycle of transmigration, delivering them from worldly sufferings and establishing them in abode of liberation, venerated by sovereigns among men, serpents, and celestial beings, that alone is dharma. Here, the word dharma should be definitively understood as pure modifications of the soul. Within these pure modifications, all forms of dharma are included by way of the classifications presented by the omniscient and passionless lords. The dharma of non-violence too is not possible without the soul's pure states. In the same way, both the dharma of householders and ascetics, as well as the tenfold dharma beginning with supreme forbearance, all presuppose the pure essence of the soul. These characteristics of dharma too are nothing but the pure nature of the soul and the transformation of the self that is free from attachment, aversion, and delusion is also the pure nature of soul. Likewise, the statement, the nature of a substance is dharma, also refers to dharma as being the pure nature of the soul.
So you see, the different names are given, but it all means the same. The true dharma is the passionlessness state, detachment, equanimity, neutrality, pure modification, the Ratnatraya or the 10 virtues of Dharma. All these are what it means Dharma. Okay. Even Dayamai Dharma is also possible only when you have pure modification. Okay. So all these refers to the same Dharma, and this is the true Dharma that we need all to manifest. Now the concluding point, conclusion is that the true religion is what we discussed now, the passionlessness state, vitrag bhav, detachment, okay, pure modification, equanimity, neutrality, all these are the true religion. This is what the conclusion is all about. Uh, but still we will read the last one. Soumya is there?
No, sir.
Okay, then fine. I will only read the conclusion part. From the entire ongoing foregoing discussion, it becomes as clear as holding an amla fruit in one's palm that the pure states, Shuddha Bhav, arising from the soul's own foundation, are the true dharma. Okay. The pure modification that has manifested by taking shelter in the soul is the true dharma. The various definition of dharma found in different scriptures and their different place based on varying standpoints all ultimately describes in diverse ways the pure transformation, Shuddha Parinaman, that are the soul's own nature and essence. There is no contradiction among them. Okay. So this is a repeat that we discussed just now. Equanimity, neutrality, pure state, dispassion, conduct, and the worship of one's own nature. All these are referred to as dharma. Among all the world-renowned philosophies, Jain philosophy is only the one that regards the worship of one's own true self, okay, the inner divine soul, as dharma. It calls the realization of the self, right belief, the knowledge of the self, right knowledge, and the meditation of the self, samyak charitra, right conduct, and declares these three, okay, the Ratnatraya, as the true dharma. This philosophy, which proclaims infinite freedom and liberates even from the bondage of a supreme deity, declares that every soul is a sovereign supreme self, Paramatma, and that the means to attain this supreme state lies in self-realization, taking shelter on your own. Taking shelter of your own, that is self-realized. Self-reliance. Although every soul is inherently the Supreme Self, Paramatma, by its very nature, even if we don't believe that we are Supreme Soul, we still are Supreme Soul. Now this is, I like the best part of all the things that we have read, that even if we don't believe ourselves to be a Supreme Self, we are still the Supreme Self. Our supremacy doesn't go away. Okay, we have been to hell, we have been to one sense being, we have been to animal kingdom, plant kingdom, you name it, and we have been to there at every place. Still, our sovereign nature, the eternity, the transcendental bliss, okay, the supreme self, it remains the same. However, it remains an ignorant being due to forgetting its own supreme nature. So, if you remember your supreme nature all the time, you are always on a high. Nobody can disturb your internal peace, tranquility, serenity, calmness. You name it, and it's all there. All the good qualities are there in our soul. Just engage in it, and you will have you will enjoy that everything. Okay. The only way to end the ignorant existence, which is in the form of modification, and to manifest the innate sovereignty within the form of modification, is the acceptance and realization. Acceptance. I am that supreme soul. Are you ready to accept? If you are accepting it, this is only the path of liberation. Acceptance is only the path of liberation. You don't have to do anything because it is already there, complete in itself, mass of infinite attributes. Okay, you have to just accept it and realize. Okay, uh, is the acceptance and realization of that very innate sovereignty within the present modification. Accepting this inherent sovereignty in the present state of manifestation and turning toward one's true nature and remaining steadfast in the nature of that modification. Okay, remaining steadfast is again very important. Okay, we all have, while we read, we have this thought that I am the supreme soul. But the moment we stop reading it and we get involved in our day-to-day life, we forget everything and we become a doer. Okay, so constantly remaining steadfast in the nature of that modification is what constitutes right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, and that is dharma bhavana. This the means to destroy the ignorant state in modification is not through contemplation of that very ignorant state, but through faith and knowledge of the potential of one's true nature. The knowledge, faith or belief, and meditation on one's true nature is what is called dharma. It is the practice of dharma, the worship, the devotion, the cultivation of dharma. It is dharma bhavana. May this dharma bhavana arising from the refuge in one's own divine soul, Nij Bhagwan Atma, only honor the spiritual manifestation of the self, only take refuge in the divine soul itself, and may the entire world become filled with dharma, filled with peace and bliss. With this sacred aspiration, I pause here. Okay, but we are not pausing. We are going to connect to our pure soul every now and then, and especially when there is an adverse situation in our life, and you will see a wonder, you will experience a wonder. It will be a surreal experience, right? Just form an habit of connecting to the self in all situations. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever activities you do in terms of mind, speech, and body, one thing you should always remember, that you are the pure soul. Okay, and nothing else. Even if you remember, then you are the same. Even if you don't remember, you are the same. Okay. If somebody is a millionaire, he don't have to every now and then say that I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire. He believes. Even if he is walking on the road without a single penny in his pocket, the uh, what you call Kumari. I want to express the word Kumari. What Anybody can express it in English? Kumari, the what you call the aura of that possession of million rupees is always there with him, even if he's not having a single penny in his pocket, because this is something that we have established oneness with it. Okay, so our sovereignty, our purity, our wealth of attributes doesn't go away any point of time. Even in the uh, most adverse situation in your life, these things remain the same. It is always available. Just connect and enjoy. So this is how the monks during the natural calamity that happens, or during the uh, cruel torture that happens to them, at that point of time they just take shelter in their soul and experience the eternal bliss, so that even from the outside there is a cruel torture being done to him, but still he remained engrossed in the self, like the three Pandavas, senior Pandavas. Okay, they remain in the self and they manifested omniscience knowledge and got liberated. So this is only the way. Come what may, you have only one thing to do: connect to yourself, remain engrossed in them, enjoy that eternal bliss, and on the outside whatever has to happen will happen. And that is not something that is happening to me, it is happening to the body and the association, and I'm not the body and not the association and not the temporary modifications that keeps on uh, evolving every moment and extincting every moment. I am the eternal pure soul, unchangeable soul, supreme soul. Okay, so with this note we end this semester. Now we will meet in the next semester. In between, if you have any questions at any point of time, your homework for CC3 is also been posted in the group, and the last date is 26th July. So today is 6th July and we are in the morning 8 o'clock. So you have full day today and another 20 days to complete this assignment. And while you complete this assignment, read again and again this contemplation, 12 contemplation. You will never have an opportunity to read these again. Only because the homework is pending, you will do it. So do it very nicely, complete it on time, 4-5 sentences on each contemplations. Okay, not for the homework. Homework, even if you write half page, I will give full marks, because there is no way to cut marks. You have to submit on time, you will get full marks. But for your own self, you try to make it as creative as you can, and while making it, you connect to yourself. Okay, that is the final homework. One homework throughout the life, throughout this life and the next life and the next life until we get liberated. One homework is to connect to ourself, the supreme soul, unchangeable soul, unmutable soul. Okay, with this note, I end. All the best. Rekha and Payal, you have to give Sem1 exams also, Sem1 3 papers also. So I hope you are
Yes, sir.
preparing. Connect to
Yes, sir.
Payal. She has not responded. Okay, just connect to
Okay,
her
sir.
once and let me know
Okay, sir.
what's happening. If you need any help, we can. Now we have holidays only, so we can connect for classes.
Sure, sir.
Anyone
Sure,
of
sir.
you having any questions, you are always welcome to call me, even without any appointment. Either if I am sleeping or if I am into some classes or studying, then I switch off my mobile or miss it's on silent pause, so I will not get disturbed. And otherwise, I will pick up the call and answer. So you are welcome to call anytime if any doubts. Okay, and all the best for the exams.
So,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes. Yes.
So, for Dravya Sangra, it says we only have to study the Gatha.
Yeah.
So, what does that mean?
Gatha means the words, the main words and its meaning only,
We have
not
to
the commentaries that are given along with that.
buy heart that, sir.
No, by heart. We have nothing to by heart. It's all open book exam. So nothing to by heart, only the meaning you understand, because when the objective will come,
Hmm.
uh, one more uh, one more caution, right? That when you attempt the objectives, it appears to be very easy, but there the catch is there in the words, you know. So
Yeah.
sometimes if we don't contemplate very deeply, we are not able to realize the mistake. So my earnest request that even if you know the answer, refer to the textbook, find that paragraph, read it through and then answer. Otherwise, chances are there that you will make mistakes here and there. Sometimes the questions are vague, irrelevant also. I have attempted both the papers, not the both the papers, of the first paper of yours, and I found that if you are not very um, reading the textbook at the time of giving exam, you might commit silly mistakes. Although it doesn't mean anything for us in our practical life, but having said that, when we are attending the exams, you do refer to the textbook before answering, even if you know the answer. Even if you're 100% sure of the answer, you still visit that portion. Okay. It will not take more than 1 hour, 1.5 hour, or 2 hours. And there is unlimited time that has been given to you this time. No limitations of 5 hours. So at least have 2 hours in your hand and then go through the each and every part of the chapter from where the questions are being asked. Read that part and then answer the question. It will be, you will not make any mistakes. Okay. So this is my request, and anything else you have in terms of questions? Okay, so we are good. All the best, Jai Jinendra. And once
Thank
you
you, sir.
attempt the
Jai Jinendra.
objectives, you just mention in the group that I have attempted paper 1 objective, paper 2 objective, paper 3 objective. Um, you have time till 10th August to appear for exams. Okay. So although the windows are given open for the specific period of time, but if you are not able to attempt in those period, you can put a request. I think it will be available up to 10th August, that the instruction they have given. 17th August will be your result, and we will be resuming. Today is 6th. So we will be resuming on 26th of July. So 20 days gap. Okay. 6 to 20 days, and 20 days is there for you to prepare for CC3. Okay, so we are connecting on 26th July, that is Saturday, and we will begin our next semester, that is the 4th semester, with Moksha Marg Prakashak. So all of you have this scripture of Moksha Marg Prakashak with you, and we will continue with that chapter number, I think 3 and 4. 1 and 2 we have done this time, right?
Yes, sir.
So 3 and 4 is coming up in the next semester, then 6 and 8, and subsequently it's the 7th and then the 9th. This is how we are going to do in every semester, 2 chapters or 1 chapter, 2 chapters or 1 chapter, and this is
So
how we
I'm
are.
reading the fifth chapter.
5th chapter we are not doing, this
He
is
says
not.
about other religions.
Yeah, because this is related to all religion. We are all more or less Jain, whether we are Svetambar or Digambar, that doesn't matter. But we are all followers of Mahavir. So that is a very big chapter. And in fact, it's a very interesting chapter if you want to enter into any argument with any other
Yeah.
religions people. That will be helpful, because Todarmalji studied all those religion scriptures and found out the loopholes in them, and that has been mentioned in them, and that is why he was killed. You know, he was given the punishment of uh, uh, death because of that, because he criticized others' religion, and other people instigated the king, and then king ordered for the death sentence. So uh, so that chapter we have we are skipping for here in this syllabus, but as a personal level you can read if you want. It's all very interesting discussion, very logical.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so see you on 26th, 8:30 same time. And before that, if you have any questions, you are always welcome to ask, and we can conduct any time of session. Any means, even don't feel, don't hesitate to call me, even if you think that this is something that I have not understood at all. I will again explain you, no problem. Okay.
Thank you, sir.